Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So sorry about the audio quality, but I am recording this in my room. I'm actually on vacation still in Las Vegas, so not able to use my setup. Just went to a Golden Knights game for the first time ever. It was incredible, but I'll talk about more of that probably when I get back. But we've got the fantasy hockey events that we've got to go over because it usually is one of the best events of the year. It appears that EA has really hammered down on the value of the cards from this event, and it's been just from taking a look at it so far, really, really underwhelming. So we're going to break down all the cards real quick and go over the master set players and if they're worth making or trying to go out and get like they have been in prior years, or if we should just avoid it entirely. So let's get into it real quick. We'll start with all the cards and we'll go from there. All right, so we're going to start first with Evander Kane from the Edmonton Oilers, coming in at 64 overall. So they've really lowered the overalls, trying to make it so they essentially, to get to 99, they have to have an exceptional season. I mean, like right here, Evander Kane's got to score 35 more goals than he's already gotten this season, and that would blast his career high of 30. So really outside chance looking in here. However, he does play on one of the best offensive teams in the NHL and has unstoppable force. The other issue, though, is that because these cards are starting out so low, you're going to have to spend a ton to get them, and then it's going to take an awful long time before you can actually use them in your lineup. Like, he would have to get basically like 20 goals, maybe 10 to 15, and that might be December at the earliest. So just not really a good value here at all, and you can't make Evander Kane. He's probably a safer one to get into the mid-90s, but still, you can't make him, and it's going to cost you, I saw him on the market already, 700,000 coins to acquire him. Just not worth it at all. All right, next up is Thomas Zahorna from Czechia. He is from a different league, obviously, so I believe he plays in the Czech league. These cards will still go up from playing in other leagues. There's some other cards as well that are representatives of other leagues, so they do count. It's not like they just have to be in the NHL. Big tipper is his ability, and he starts out at 72 speed, 73 acceleration. His career high in goals in that league is 18, so he would have to get essentially 32 goals to hit 99. So again, like I mentioned with Evander Kane, it appears that they're really trying to hammer down the ability to get to 99. They've got to go out, absolutely all out. So this is just a hard avoid unless you're a fan of the player. Then we've got Pavel Mitkov from the Saginaw Spirit. I've actually gotten to see him play against the Ice Dogs. He is not up with Anaheim. He is going to blow up the OHL this season, though. So this actually might be one of the safer ones. I mean, as a defenseman, he only has to get 16 goals to get up to 99. And this might actually happen because he is one of the best players in the league. Already dominating the OHL right now. It is, again, going to take quite a while for him to become useful, however, but this might actually be one of the safer ones because people might not know who he is. So maybe, I don't know what the cost would be, maybe like 200K at most, but he might actually hit 99. All right, Alex Pietrangelo is up next. Defensemen go up again by +2 for every goal they score. Defensemen, though, it's awfully difficult to kind of find their value because scoring comes in bunches. Now, obviously, he's one of the best defensemen in the NHL still. He has silver 1T, 6'3" is great size. It's going to take like five more goals would get his skating up to, again, speed only goes up by 0.5, so you have to keep that in mind. So speed would be at 82 if he scores 5 more goals. Everything else would be +10. It's like we're talking about, again, like December, maybe January before he even catches up where you can use him on your team. I don't know what EA was doing with this in terms of the value. It just seems like kind of a slap in the face, but he's one of the best defensemen still in the game, and he's, playing on a very, very good offensive team. I just don't see how he's going to break his career high in goals to actually, get to 99. All right, Timo Meier from my Sharks is up next. This might be one of the safer ones as well. He hasn't had a very good start to the season. He just has 1 goal in, I believe, 10 games. However, his career high obviously was 35 last year. I can definitely see him still hitting 30, which is what he needs to get to 99. Has elite edges at 6 foot, and he's got fly the zone, which makes him a little bit safer because he can score in bunches. He would need, if he can get 10 more goals, let's say, in the next 20 games, you're looking at a card that's definitely usable with elite edges, which is one of the better abilities. Again, you can't make these ones outside of the master set players, so I'm not really actively trying to grab Timo Meier. I am as a Sharks fan, but he might be, again, it depends on the cost. Like, if we're looking at 700,000 coins for these cards, there's no shot at all because there's no guarantee. But yeah, he's probably going to be one of the safer ones to hit 99. Next, we've got Cole Sillinger from the Columbus Blue Jackets. I can't believe he's still only 19 years old. Last year, he had 16 goals in essentially a full season, and so he would have to essentially double that this year, and he's only got, well, he doesn't have a goal in the first 9 games. So again, I don't know how you're going to find the value here. You can't use him. He's got 79 speed and acceleration. I mean, you can maybe use that if you're playing squad battles, but it's going to take, an exceptional output of scoring for him to be usable. So this is just an avoid for me. All right, then we've got Nazem Kadri, who is a little bit more interesting because, again, he would only need about 28 more goals to get to 99, and that's definitely in the realm of possibility. He's playing fantastic with the Calgary Flames already, has silver close quarters, but his speed's at 80, so he's, again, 10 goals is only going to get his speed up to 85. So when you think of it like that, it's awfully tough, and he doesn't have a skating synergy. So again, the card may be usable in January, but he's probably one of the safer ones as well to hit 99. Seth Jarvis is up next, and he's one of the prospect cards. You can actually do a set to get a random one of 4 prospect cards that they've released. Seth Jarvis is one of them. He had 17 goals last year. He's got 2 and 7 this year. So, he would have to get basically 28 more goals already to get up to that 99 level. He's got 81 speed and 82 acceleration. However, he is playing very, very good so far to start the year, and he's actually somewhat usable. Like you can maybe get away with this card on your fourth line. Just kind of hide him out down there. He, again, because his skating is actually up higher, he might be usable earlier than some of the other guys, and he is playing very well. So this might actually be one of the better ones to get, and you get it during the prospect pack, and I'll show you guys about that in a little bit. All right, next up is Thatcher Demko, one of the best goaltenders usually every year in Hockey Ultimate Team, 6'4". The Canucks are an absolute gong show, however, to start the season. So he would need 28 more wins, and I don't know if anyone is confident in them getting the Vancouver Canucks getting 28 more wins at this point. I do think that he is much better than what the Vancouver Canucks have been. He's a very good goaltender. So this one wouldn't surprise me at all if he does get up to 99, 28 more wins. Again, they've already played about 9 games and they've only won 1. So I don't know. It's scary. It's scary investing in, but it's probably safer. He'll get to at least 90. And Thatcher Demko is a very good goaltender. However, because his attributes are so low, he's gonna need like 15 more wins. And I don't know how confident you guys are about how long you're waiting for that many. Cole Perfetti's up next. He scored last night, I believe, against the Arizona Coyotes in the debut of Mullet Arena, which looks awesome. 80 speed and acceleration. Again, kind of like Cole Perfetti, he's actually somewhat usable already because of his speed, and he looks like he's going to be very good. This is, again, the prospect pack might be the most value out of this event. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but again, he's going to have to score 26 more goals to get up to 99. Very, very tough to prognosticate that. Then we've got Shane Gostisbehere from the Arizona Coyotes, who's actually had a phenomenal season so far. He's already got 4 goals in 7 games for the Coyotes. His career high, though, is 17, way back with the Flyers in 15-16. He only needs another 12 goals, essentially, to get up to 99. And honestly, he looks like the odds-on favorite so far out of the gate to actually hit that because of how well he's played for the Coyotes. Seeing eye is not a very good ability, however, but his skating is at already over 80, and that is huge. So for every goal for the defenseman, everything goes up by +2, skating goes up by +1. So 5 more goals, he's already at 86 speed and acceleration. And again, that's nothing crazy, especially that might take a month to hit. But this one actually looks like it has the best shot so far of hitting 99, given the performance that he's put on so far. So Shane Gostisbehere is a sneaky one. All right, then we've got Yanni Gordon from the Seattle Kraken, 5'9", 77 overall with spark and quick draw. No goals so far in the first 8 games of the season. His career high is 25, so he only needs to hit 23 to get up there. Quick draw makes him somewhat sneaky early on, but his faceoff rating is only 71. He does have 82 speed and 84 acceleration with spark, so that his skating is almost there. So with 5 to 10 goals, you're looking at someone who's got 87 speed. He's got over 90 acceleration. Again, this might be one of the better ones to get if you are looking to grab just anyone. It's all going to depend on the cost, however. Sebastian Repo from Liga has had decent seasons throughout his career. He's at 6'3", which is great size, 80 speed already. Again, it's going to take a lot of goals. I believe his career high is 18. That's tough to bank on because speed only goes up by 0.5 for these fantasy cards. It's not guaranteed that every goal they will go up by 1. So you have to remember that. His size is very, very good. However, and if he gets up a little bit, his faceoff rating's like in the 80s, which is obviously going to take 7 more goals. because you don't need speed in the middle as much as the wing and on defense, I think that it might be usable. But again, this is like just a hope and a prayer. Caden Gooley's up next from the Montreal Canadiens, 6'2", with bombarded and shut down. This is his first season in the NHL. He does have one goal already. This is extremely tough to bank on. There's no way that you can, see or know what he's going to, even come close to in terms of goals. He might go 2 more months without scoring at all. He is going to get all the opportunities in the world to score. However, 82 speed and acceleration is usable in a sense compared to all the other ones right now. But again, it might be another month before he scores, and that's just really, really tough to kind of use in your lineup. If you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, obviously in the prospect pack, you might be able to grab him. All right, then we've got Matthias Plata from the DEL. He's got 8 goals already this season as a centerman with distributor and born leader. His career high in goals, however, is 14. So he would have to surpass that to get into, the 90 range. And he's got 86 speed out of the gate, 83 acceleration, 86 agility, which is definitely usable. His shot is all in the 70s, though. So he's going to need like 4 or 5 more goals before his shot is somewhat usable. But his skating does make him a little more interesting. This might probably be one of the better ones to grab, just in the sense that, he's already got usable stats in some places. He also has 83 on the draw if you get distributor activated, which, again, might be one of the more easier ones to get up into usable range. All right, then we've got Seth Jones from the Blackhawks with Silver Stick 'em Up and Bombarded. 84 speed and acceleration, which is somewhat okay given the fact of all the other fantasy cards at 80 overall. 7 games in the season, he does not have a goal. His career high is 16 for the Blue Jackets. He hasn't had more than 10 in 5 years. So again, I don't know if he's going to be able to hit that 10-goal mark to get to 99. However, his speed is somewhat usable. If he can score 2 or 3 in the next, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you might have a pretty usable defenseman given his size and his skating. So again, another one that might be more usable early on, which is pretty important. And with Silver Stick 'em Up, that's a pretty good combo. But defensive awareness for a defenseman at 81 overall is very, very tough to use. You're not intercepting anything. All right, on to our master set players. We've got the 72 overall. Kevin Fiala has 1 goal in 9 games for the Kings after a career year last year with 33. So he is going to have to get to 27 more goals to hit up to 99. And while that's definitely in the realm of possibility, he's had a slow start goal scoring wise for the Kings. He has Goldschmidt and elite edges. You guys know I love elite edges, but his agility is so low. Even if he scores 10 more goals, he's only going to have 84 agility, and he hasn't scored. He's only scored 1 in 9 games. So while I think he might be one of the more interesting ones to get to 99, I think it might be safer that he will get in between like 95 to 99, but that's by the end of the year. And we're going to talk about the cost to make these. I'm not a huge fan of this card. Next, we've got Tristan Jarry, 72 overall with Wingman and Dangle City. He's got goal post to post. 6'2". He's got 4 wins so far this season in 6 games. The Penguins look great, so he would need another 28 wins, including some shutouts there. 6'2" is fine in this game. Post to post isn't really needed at all. A sponge actually might be, so it's a decent ability. This is probably the safest of all of them to get to 99 and actually be usable, just because the Penguins do look very, very good, and Jarry, unless he gets injured, is going to be the starting goaltender there. So not a bad option here for the 72 Tristan Jarry. Then we've got Ivan Provorov from the Philadelphia Flyers. He has no goals so far to start the year. His career low, however, is 6, which would get him up to, that's another 12. You're into the 90s. He had 9 last year, so he does score quite a bit. 83 speed, 84 acceleration. Does make him a little interesting, but again, with defensemen, you could go months without seeing a goal, and that's obviously very difficult to want to put in your lineup. He can go into your lineup earlier than most because he's at 83 speed and 84 acceleration, but he needs like 3 goals before you feel comfortable with it, and that's just awfully tough. I'm not a huge fan now after playing for a few weeks of Heat Seeker. It's activating, but it's not really doing anything. So not huge on Ivan Provorov, but he's somewhat more interesting than Fiala, in my opinion. And then we've got Robert Thomas from the St. Louis Blues, 83 speed, 84 acceleration with Wingman and Thief. Does get up to 85 speed. That makes him already pretty usable. He's got 1 goal in 6 games so far. He had 20 last year. This is probably the safest of all of them, just because he is usable right now with his synergies. Tape to tape, I'm not a huge fan of, and say with no contest. But if you're looking dead set on making one of the Evo cards, this is probably the most safe. All right, guys, now let's talk about the sets and why everything has been so brutal so far since this event has been launched. So when we go into the sets and you look at the cost, it does turn out you are actually able to use 87 overalls, which is sweet. However, you're only getting 2 for every 87 overall. And if we're just looking at cost so far, I've gone through the auction house a little bit. It's looking about 50,000 coins to get 187. So you're looking at 25,000 per 87 overall card, because you get 2 collectibles. So you just have to do the math a little bit before if you really want to invest in these. Right now, I believe 86 is, you do get 1 power-up collectible, or 1, fantasy hockey collectible, and they're going for about 20,000 in that range. So they might be one of the better ones. But again, you just have to go through and do the math on these. Again, I'm away, so I haven't really had the time to do that. So I just want to shout that out. You can use 85s, 86s, and 87s. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably making one of these just because of the content. I'm probably avoiding all of them as it stands right now. The value is brutal so far. So going through some of these other sets, you can get for 10 of them, you can get a prospect player item. So you do an exchange event collectibles for a choice of 1 of 2. I wouldn't want Caden Gooley, and so the only one like Seth Jarvis wouldn't be bad, but honestly, if you can get a couple of free hockey collectibles, which you can do, this is probably the one that might actually be half decent to do, because Seth Jarvis is in there, which isn't bad at all. So, and again, I think the prospect ones with Cole Perfetti, they might be better valued than some of the other ones. You can do the random choice for week 1. And again, this does look like a 2-week event, so it does look like they're going to be more master items, and week 2 might be better. So this is 1 of 3, and it's a random one. Again, for 30 guys, you're looking at about 600,000 coins. There is not enough. I mean, I don't even know if any of them are worth 600,000 coins. So just a bad value here, guys. The NHL Players Pack, this is where I might actually put in the collectibles you get for free. You'll get a few of them, and you might just throw them into packs to get them for get some packs here. But it's costing 40 to do the master set players, guys. It's looking at about 20,000 per collectible. That means you're looking at about 800,000 coins to make these at early launch of the game for cards that you're not going to be able to put in your lineup outside of maybe Robert Thomas. So I'm just straight avoiding, guys. I would just save your coins. You can sell everything that you've saved and make a ton of coins right now, and be able to use some of the cards in the future events, or just save for Team of the Year, because these sets are pretty brutal. Lastly, I want to talk about the objectives, because again, there are some free ones that you can do. So you can do the fantasy hockey one. You get a fantasy hockey collectible for completing all 6 of these. And again, you could throw those and get an NHL Players Pack. That's probably what I would recommend doing, just based on the other values of this stuff. And then there's a fantasy hockey prospect objective. You can get that pack for free. 100% recommend trying to get this done, because you just get a free one. And again, you might get someone that's half decent. I don't know, for free-to-play players, you can't complain about that, but this one isn't all that bad. You look in the store real quick, you'll get a week 1 fantasy hockey prospect player item and a guaranteed of 6 gold players. I get a lot of questions about, are any of these ever worth it for coins? This is definitely not worth it. The prospect pack you can get for free, so there's no reason spending for that one. Again, if you're going to spend coins on the market for cards at all, the only ones I would ever do is the Jumbo NHL Players Pack. And with the state of the game right now, I don't know if you watch my streams, obviously early on, I put a lot of money into my team. I'm not really buying packs at all because of how bad the state of the game is right now. So until they correct some of the bugs and things like that, I'm just avoiding packs altogether. But if you're going to buy packs, these are the only ones that are worth it. They get the 10 overall, 80 over plus items. Those are the ones that you want to pay attention to. So guys, I apologize for the audio quality and just the lack of quality in the video. I just want to go over all the cards and sets and everything like that. Again, I'm on vacation until I'll be back Tuesday morning, so I'll fire up a stream on Tuesday. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.